Hey guys, welcome back to Mountain Murders.
I'm Heather.
And I'm Dylan.
Okay, Dylan, I have to ask you, if you were a hardcore outlaw biker, what would your nickname be?
What would my nickname be?
Yes.
It would be Big Bone.
Big Bone?
Big Bone. Yes, ma'am.
Good name for you.
Thank you.
If I was your old lady, what would my name be?
Your name would be Little Devil.
Satan.
Yes, it would be.
As I hiss and...
We'd call you Taz for short.
Little Devil?
Yeah, I think that'd be good.
I think Little Devil works.
Or I could be Big Daddy Thick.
You are a thick bitch.
Yeah, with 3 C's.
You need tempo.
I do need tempo.
Slow songs is for skinny hoes.
That's true.
You can't move all of this.
You can't.
You need tempo.
I do need a lot of tempo.
I know. I've seen you twerk.
Okay, so, so why are we talking about outlaw motorcycle biker guys?
Well, funny you should ask. We have one of the most explosive, fascinating cases of our Mountain Murders career. In fact, I got into this rabbit hole.
Yeah.
You know that happens to me sometimes.
You do that when you're researching?
I start research, and then it leads me to something else, and I end up basically just spiraling out. That's what happened. But I found this case. It is fantastic.
Yes.
So all this talk about biker gangs is going to come into play here in a bit.
Okay.
I'm not going to say that we are part of that world. I think you and I have kind of been on the fringe of that world here and there.
Yeah, we might have knew somebody that knew somebody.
Perhaps, because you've had some run-ins, maybe with a few of these outlaw types.
Yeah, I've had a thing or two happen when I was a little bit wild back in my younger years.
And didn't you tell me a story about maybe your mom knowing some bikers back in the day?
Yeah, I'm sure she could tell the story a lot better, but basically she was, she was young once and had her little party ways here and there, a little drinking here or there, hanging out with some people. And she was hanging out with this one group, and they're like, and this one friend of hers was like, my old man and the old lady this. And she's like, huh. So she goes, checks them out, hangs out with them. Well, they were a bunch of bikers and a frat house style living.
A clubhouse?
Yeah,
okay.
Bunch of people roommating, living in this one big old house. And she would go kind of hang out with them and stuff a little bit here or there until she started seeing the real violence that was always around the edges of these people. Things like women slapped through the face and, it'd be late at night and a rag thrown at him and bitch go shine my hog, and a woman go shine all the chrome on a bike for 3 or 4 hours in the pitch black dark.
Oh.
Yeah, so she quickly decided that's not the type of friend she'd like to have.
Yeah, I mean, your mom strikes me as a bit of a feminist.
Yes.
I can't imagine that she's going to sit by quietly and watch this happen.
No, she was definitely a flower child, if you will. And, you get these weekend warrior types, that have the $50,000 pickup and they haul their bike somewhere on a trailer and they got this, cool. They have fun, they call themselves bikers. But I think what we're talking about are real bikers, if you will.
It's a fucking lifestyle.
A lifestyle. They don't change.
It's life on the road.
Prison doesn't scare them.
No.
Kicking the shit out of strong-arming people, living hard and fast. The real one percenters.
Much like Sons of Anarchy.
Very much.
And you were a big fan of that show, right?
Yeah, it was badass.
Yeah,
I loved
didn't really get into that much.
Oh, I was all about some jacks.
Well, I have to admit, there was the one guy, what was his name, Opie?
Okay, yeah.
I would totally bone him. He's hot. So I watched a few times just because I wanted to get in his panties. But then I heard he died, and then I was just okay.
God, everybody was devastated when Opie got killed. But he sacrificed himself for the rest of the guys. Because that's how fucking bikers do it.
He's a sexy bitch.
That's a big burly dude.
He had that big beard.
Yes.
I mean, clearly I have a type.
That actually helped launch Greg Holden's career into the mainstream. That song they used during Opie's funeral.
I don't know what song that is.
Oh, it's called, Shit, I Don't Know the Title.
Shit, I Don't Know the Title.
Yeah, it's
that
pretty
sounds like a fucking gem of a song right there.
But any fans of Sons of Anarchy out there know that song.
Song of the year, shit, I don't know the title.
You're goofy. Anywho, let's move along. So why are we talking, and what is your connection to the fringes of outlaw bikers?
Well, I've got a couple of connections. I'm actually still currently friends with some bikers.
Oh, my God.
And they maybe don't live this lifestyle now.
They not about that life now.
But they were, in their younger days.
Are you threatening me?
I'm just saying, I know some people.
You're going to have me beat up?
Nah.
Okay.
I do that myself.
You tell them to bring it, because I grew up on the mean streets of Shelltown, Shelby, North Carolina.
I'm feisty. I don't need anybody to fight my battles for me. I'm scary.
North Kakalaka.
I'll bite somebody on their ankles because I'm like 2 feet tall.
She will bite a bitch. Don't get it twisted.
Okay, so back when I lived in San Diego, I had connections to a motorcycle club. Now, they were primarily military members.
Okay.
So it's not like these were 1%ers.
Right.
However, they did party and hang out with other bikers in the area. Southern California, there's a big scene there.
Oh, wow. That's in the heart of it.
Yeah. There were bikers, and there was actually a Mongol who would hang out and party. And I've heard some stories.
Well, that's the real deal right there.
Bodies in the desert, that kind of thing.
Yeah, make you disappear.
A little creepy.
Oh, I'm sure.
I mean, these are people that, they might be entertaining to interact with on occasion.
In a bar.
But they are not the kind of people you really want to be tight with, hang out with.
No.
That lifestyle just doesn't really appeal to me. I don't want to have to look over my shoulder and worry that someone's going to gun down my family.
Well, see, that's the thing. With these types of real bikers, if you will, that we're talking about, or going to be talking about, if you hang around them on a regular basis, you're inevitably going to be drug into their world. The chaos, the danger, the insanity, if you will.
Yeah, I'm just not interested in leading that kind of life unless I'm in charge of it.
Yeah, unless you're at the head of the chaos.
I want to be the order giver.
Okay.
And that's about it.
You want to be the Shotcaller. Yeah,
I can't be like the low person on the pole, you know what I mean?
So you'd never make it as a prospect.
Fuck no. And those guys in California, they would fuck some prospects up. They would do some dumb shit. They would do shit like give them an envelope and tell them they had to drive from San Diego to Yuma, pick up a package or drop a package off. Well, they didn't know what was in this envelope. Those motherfuckers would drive all the way to Yuma, Arizona, through the fucking desert, heat of the day, get there, hand off the envelope to another biker who'd pop it open, and it'd be a fucking stick of gum in there and shit.
Oh, wow.
Just fucking shit. Just to fuck with these dudes.
Yeah, I don't think I could try that hard to be a part of a group.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to be a part of any group that would have me as a member.
I couldn't even rush a damn fraternity. Fuck you. Who you supposed to be?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, I got some more biker stories, but let's get on to this case because it is so fucking great. You always hear that cliche, when you play with fire, you get burned.
Yeah.
There are many reasons a person might become involved in one of these sort of undersides of society. Maybe it's a bad childhood, addictions, or the simple thrill of being the badass in the room.
Well, that can carry some a luster or allure to it, if you will.
You walk into a room wearing your vest, your jacket, you've got your rocker, your cuts, as they call them.
Yeah.
And people are going to take note.
Well, especially if there's 6 or 7 of them and you're all big and burly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can see how that might be appealing or thrilling for some.
You think that's sexy to women?
Yeah.
A little bit.
Well, women like the bad boy.
Yeah, and I guess there's nothing badder than a big, burly, muscled up dude on a damn bike with a
big beard and some tattoos, all inked up.
Wait a second.
Vroom, vroom.
Yeah, okay.
Oh, I'm going to have to take a cold shower.
Oh, is it me or did you get hot in here?
Oh, it wasn't you.
Oh.
I always heard that you are the company you keep. Therefore, I never really wanted to be part of this scene.
You're a square.
I'm such a square.
You're still square.
I totally am.
Okay.
When you invest your time and efforts into a culture of crime and violent egos, your whole view of society's norms gets skewed until you lose sight of your humanity. The case we're discussing today is so intense, multifaceted, and detailed, it might be hard to keep up with the motley crew and the cast of characters. But I'm going to try my best to weave one of the most fascinating stories that should be a Hollywood movie. And by the way, I'm willing to write the screenplay if I've got any financial investors out there who want to back me.
totally could be a great movie in the right hands.
It could be, right? I mean,
Yes.
I've already started casting this film in my head and shit. Yeah. To understand this case, we're going to need a little background on some of the players involved. Are you ready?
I am ready.
I'm going to begin this tale talking about Joseph Eugene Vines, called Jojo by most who knew him. Now, Jojo is an interesting guy. He grew up in Baltimore, Maryland, then moved to West Virginia as a young child. His mother was a single mom to 18 kids.
How do you even do that?
I don't know.
How could you even be pregnant that long, that much of your life?
My vagina hurts just thinking about it.
Did she literally pull a Red Rider wagon behind her with her uterus in it?
Probably. I mean, at this point, I feel like they just got to be falling out.
Oh my God, she probably doesn't even go into labor. She's just like, oh, there's another kid.
They're like mogwais. You get them wet and they just multiply.
Did you fart or birth?
I don't know. They moved to West Virginia and she ended up fostering 6 more children.
She's a dedicated woman.
Now, Jojo never knew his father, but it wasn't like he lived a very lonely life with all of these siblings. Now, by 15, the family ended up in Florida, and we're kind of living on the wrong side of the tracks. I can't imagine you'd have a lot of money with that number of kids in the family.
I couldn't imagine making it at all with that many kids.
From an early age, he was kind of hanging out with the wrong crowd and getting swept up into, you know, that group of kids. They're kind of streetwise. They know how to hustle, make a few bucks.
Right.
Getting into a little bit of trouble.
Well, I could imagine his mom had trouble keeping up with what all the kids are doing. So I could see him getting lost in the mix.
When they get to Florida, he sort of starts hanging out with this scene of teenagers, young people who are using drugs. Some of the females are turning tricks. They're making a few quick bucks, maybe selling a little weed, stealing cigarettes, shoplifting, basically just kind of being young punks.
Right.
Some of them are even dying as young as 11 years old.
My God.
Vines, in any other situation, might have been a different person. He seemed to have potential, but more importantly, emotional maturity and a lot of compassion. When Jojo did witness an 11-year-old overdose, and then a teenage girl named Maria Lopez that he was kind of crushing on, got served with a bad batch of mescaline.
Yeah, I had to look that up and make sure that's the peyote buttons off of a cactus.
She ended up spending her life in a mental institution after this bad batch. It was then and there that Jojo decided these drug dealers should pay for the lives they had destroyed. At the age of 15, Jojo became a police informant. He set the dealer up who had hurt his 2 friends and was so good that he was offered a job. He would make a career of being a part-time cop, part-time criminal.
See, what I find interesting about that is a lot of time informants are, you know, they help the cops to help themselves. You know, they've gotten in trouble. They want to make their sentence less or take out rivals, you know, in a drug trade or something like that. But this guy right here, it seems to come purely from his heart. Like, I'm going to stop these people that have hurt people that I've cared about, which is very interesting.
That's pretty much what happened.
And to start at 15, that's amazing.
The double life led him to different areas on the fringes of society's toughest players, including the Hells Angels. As an adult, he would marry a woman, his 4th wife, who had been a stripper in Chicago and the old lady of a Hells Angel. He met her while he was working a case and kind of rescued her from a bad situation.
Okay, yes, yet again, the savior.
Jojo would find himself in Asheville, North Carolina in July of 1981. He'd been given the name of an ATF agent assigned there. About one day in town or so, he reaches out to the agent stationed at the downtown Federal Building, schedules a meeting with the agent, and while he's talking to the guy, he is passed on the names of some Asheville detectives who might need his help. He waits a day or 2 before he calls those officers. He introduces himself, and they present him with an assignment pretty quickly. They can see he's a legit guy.
Right, so he must have the look and everything, he's, you know, his demeanor and what he's telling them maybe about what he's done before or how he feels about, you know, people that hurt people.
Jojo does have the street cred, and he knows enough about the inner workings of the crime circuit, specifically the drug trade,